This morning. Are we like the only house in the neighborhood that everybody's awake, having coffee? I mean, literally, to you guys, salute, have a great day. But she keeps sending me these funny videos. And I'm like, can you please stop? Because they interrupt when I'm online. And she keeps sending them to me. Okay, go back out and tell her again, don't send me anymore. But happy Thursday to you guys. I was supposed to come on last night, and I've been wearing the super dad cape for the past 3 days, so dad has been helping one of his little ones through a situation and getting that finalized today. Nothing bad, no medical. It's all about economics and this and that and getting them back online. So I put my super dad cape away. But when I get out of work today, I got to put it back on to finish the deal. So hopefully all goes well on that part. But last night didn't work. I mean, the head was going to explode. Just doing numbers all the time. But I'm going to use the National Day of yesterday because this kind of makes sense. Actually, it makes an amazing amount of sense. And it's National Interpreter Day. I'm going to interpretate to you as an interpreter the laws of philosophy. And it may sound kind of boring, but this is your daily menu that you have to choose every day. When I was a young little psycho tyke working in the restaurants, I just figured I'd be a big shot. I'm going to go work 5-star. And in 5-star restaurants, you have to create a presentation at every table that you have. In other words, you greet them, you talk about what's going on, you invoke the specials to them. And the biggest problem I had was I couldn't remember the special of the day. And back then there was many specials of the day. With all these ingredients I had to articulate. I used to go to the table and my hands were so wet from sweat, from getting nervous. I mean, I couldn't remember anything. And this is the problem that we have every day. We have this choice now, even now, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting ready to go to work. I make the conscious choice every day. This is the emotion, hence I'm going to call it the laws of emotion that I'm going to live in today. No matter what, I'm going to try it. I'm going to work on it constantly and remind myself to live in the law of gratitude, which I do every day anyway, which has helped me tremendously. It's actually one of the laws of emotion, not philosophy. I'm going to go through each one quickly and describe to you guys that what they were telling us thousands of years ago. They were saying, look, if you choose this emotion or vibration that you live in every day, you will have more of it. Whatever it is, good and or bad. That comes from Matthew 13:12. Whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. An abundance of good and or bad. This is the thing. People think abundance is all good. No, meatball. It's whatever you choose for that abundance. So think of this. The 12 laws of emotion. And I'm going to be like your emotional waiter today. I'm wearing the white. I got to put the chef coat on before I leave anyway. But I'm going to be your waiter today. I'm going to step by your emotional table. I'm going to ask you these questions. And I'm going to say, look, this is how you can live today. And this is what you're going to manifest from it. And then you do your assessment when you get home today. Wow, maybe Jerry was right. I was manifesting this by living by this. Think of this. The law of survival. How many of you, and my middle one can attest to this, the past 3 days, are living in the laws of fight or flight every day? Just fighting through life, just fighting through all the shit that's going on in your life, trying to just stay above water. That life preserver isn't working very well. What they're saying in Matthew 13:12 is you're going to get more of that abundance of living just above the water without sinking. Does all this kind of sink in what I'm getting to here? Number 2 is carefree. That emotion of carefree is you're letting things happen. You're not forcing them. You're allowing them. Living a carefree life is not a careless life. You're not, you care. We all care about our situations, our lives, our family, our blood, our friends, our job, whatever's going on. You have that carefree life of knowing that everything's okay. You are going to get more in abundance of that. This is a powerful one. Detach. The biggest friggin' problem I have was attaching myself to someone or something until I learned how to detach myself and just enjoy the process of the person or the thing or the situation, instead of trying to fight my way through it and hold on to it and grasp it with all my might. You guys may have noticed me, and throughout, this is like my 700th episode here on Facebook Live. A lot of you guys knew that I was battling eczema on my hands for decades, so I just got a cut. That's not eczema. But here's the point. When I stopped holding on to what I missed in my life, for some reason the hands got better. Wow. Well, with a chronic illness like that, all of a sudden now everything's gone. What does that tell you? The body's responding to your emotions. Number 4, contentment. You might have a lot of syllables in that world, but it's a beautiful feeling that I say to myself every day. Being proud, being satisfied. These are the questions you got to ask yourself in the emotion that you're living in today. Do you feel proud of where you are? Do you feel proud of who you become? And if you're not, you're going to grant more of abundance to that relative negative energy in your life. But when you start articulating, yeah, I've been through a lot of hell in my life, but I can get better. These are the feelings that are going to start the process. This is the thought process that's going to create the reality from that thought process. Number 5, self-care. I'm not talking any kind of material way of self-care or the nails or just, I'm talking about in here. Because everything starts in here. I can be repetitive, I can be redundant, but everything that you are starts from within and moves itself outward. So how are you mentally taking care of yourself? Are you adding to your mental toolbox every day all these things that are going to make your day better? These are the questions you got to ask yourself every day. And resilience. Yeah, resilience could be to persevere. No, actually, resilience is to recover, from what has happened to you. Have you recovered? In other words, ask yourself, yeah, that person is still on my mind a lot, but how do you feel about that person? You can still miss somebody, but emotionally be detached from that. That's what I'm talking about here. Resilience is to be able to recover from what has happened to you and use it in a positive way. Next, experiences. This friggin' word, man. When you live by your experience, you can only re-manifest that. Hence, getting more abundance from that, good and or bad. What has your experiences taught you? Have they taught you to move into a closet and never leave again? To close the castle and never experience the kingdom of life that we have every day? Yet again, another question to ask yourself. The point of all this is we wake up every day, like I woke up today. And we wake up every day with this choice, every day, of what kind of day we are going to have, even before we leave the friggin' house, man. By your emotions, by your thought process, by how you feel about yourself. So it's imperative for your morning coffee, mental coffee, to implant as many good thoughts as you can about how good your day is going to be, even before it even friggin' starts, because that's going to start the process. Next is wisdom. A lot of you say you know a lot, but in actuality, do you do a lot? Do you actually follow what you understand, what you know? There's a lot of brilliant people out there that do a lot of stupid things, man, because we're all human. But the point is, what you've been through doesn't have to happen again. You realize that. It doesn't have to be a constant process in your life. It doesn't have to keep reoccurring except by your thought about it. So the question is, did you learn from what has happened? And that's a perfect example of what I'm going through today. I'm not going to allow what has happened to me to affect one of my little ones. Meaning I'm going to be there with my super cape to make sure that everything is dealt correctly. That's monitoring from my experience to pass on to somebody else. Time clock. This is a big pain in the butt for a lot of people. We're always rushing around in time. The point being is, how do you spend your time? Are you wasting it on bad thoughts, on situations that don't matter anymore? You start expunging those kind of scenarios. You see how much time you create for yourself to improve yourself, to become that better you. And compassion. We all have compassion. We all believe in ourselves. But when you start feeling that emotion of helping people, I can talk to anybody all friggin' day long. That's just who I am. But if you ever notice when people just, if it's someone that you don't know, literally will put their head down and just not even speak to you, that's just, whatever's going on in their life. But the point being is, you start showing compassion, a good energy that starts coming out of you, your aura, you're going to start attracting people out of the blue, man. I just want to talk to you. And solitude. To me, then I'll get to the quote box. Solitude has changed my life. It has changed every part of who I am because I was forcing myself to face what had happened to me and reflect on it, define it, think through it, and make a plan to overcome it. So if you can give yourself a little bit each day of solitude, not silence per se. I always have, some kind of medicinal music on that makes me feel better, very soft. But if you can acknowledge your solitude, embrace it, enjoy it, you're going to start hearing things that you never even believed. You're going to start saying, wait, there's a better way. Then, when you start getting out of the distraction mode about life, does that make sense? About trying to fill your day with all the distraction and face what is going on in that left and right ear in between there right now, you're going to find the most amazing answers. And last, like I mentioned before, everything I live by every day, which is gratitude. Gratitude, here's a simple test. When you say I'm grateful for my health, is there a period after it or is there a question mark? This is what I'm talking about. This is whether you believe what you're saying. A lot of us will articulate verbiage all day long of things. Yeah, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm well, but my friggin' head hurts. I mean, does that make sense? So what you're articulating in gratitude, is there a period behind it because you believe in it or a question mark because you don't trust it? That's when you know if you need work, or basically you just need an oil change in your car. In other words, like in your mind, in your thinking, to let it flow even better. And through that list, out of the quote box tonight, I'm going to let you guys go. I have to get to work, man. And this is powerful. What you prioritize, you actualize. Prioritize is your constant focus every day. This is why I keep telling you, the synchronicities in your life are just a reflection of what you're sending out every day. That's the law of attraction in action. And from there, from prioritize, in other words, like you're focusing on the good that you are all day long, you're going to start attracting things that will match that. Hence, whoever has will be giving more, and they will have an abundance. You see how scripture and science kind of work together? It's a beautiful process. I'm not telling you to go jack out a Bible and try to understand it or read it. No, it's these little verses that'll tell you that they knew it in advance. They were just trying to tell us, but articulated in a way that we didn't understand it. Then it was interpreted, there you go, by somebody else telling us how to do it a different way. What I'm just telling you guys, it's all the same. It's all combined because we are one. Namaste. You get it? All right. Actualize, to make actual. From that prioritize, you will actualize that. From prioritizing your focus, thought, and energy is going to actualize in your reality. Does all of this make sense? It's your menu board that you walk into a restaurant. You have a choice to choose from. And if you live by that every day, because emotions are just energy emotion, you are going to create the most amazing life. Do it consistently, constantly, diligently. Monitor your conscious thinking, that 10% of the brain that's powerful, not the storehouse. Because every second, every thought, your subconscious mind is taking a mental snapshot. So what are you choosing to think about? Because the subconscious saying, okay, Xerox, print. It's going to constantly store these situations, thoughts, feelings, and experiences back there that are going to be triggered. So why not install a new hardware, some new programs, man? Realize how powerful you are. Realize how special you are. Realize that we have control of this computer. Just press control and shift and move the magic around in your mind and watch how life reacts from that, guys. So America's Mentor, I got to go to work, man. America's Mentor _radio on Instagram. Much love for the Jackson Views. Hashtag America's Mentor on YouTube. Thank you guys for the Jackson Views. 780 videos and growing on YouTube. Subscribe and share, guys. Enjoy your Thursday. God bless. I got my super cape, my dad cape I got to put back on over my chef coat. Head to work and help my little one, man, guys. God bless. Enjoy your Thursday. I'll see you soon, man.